Well, a major issue that will without a doubt be discussed at the DNC this week is immigration. Yearly apprehensions at the U.S. border reached record highs during President Biden's term. The host city of Chicago has been a sanctuary city for migrants since 2022, receiving more than 46,000 arrivals since August of that year, according to city data. And while those buses full of migrants coming from Texas have mostly disappeared, the city is still struggling with handling the migrants that are already there. CBS News correspondent Adriana Diaz joins us now from the DNC in Chicago. Adriana, last night the president said there are fewer border crossings today than when Donald Trump left office. And we know that a lot of that drop has come since June, when he signed that proclamation effectively banning most asylum seekers. So considering all of that information, how is the issue of immigration being handled so far?
Good evening, Jerika. Well, so far, they really have not focused on it. All of last night, it was mentioned a couple of times, but there were other themes that dominated last night, including abortion. We are expected to hear a bit more on immigration tonight. One of the speakers that could address it is Mesa, Arizona mayor. He is a Republican who's cross-party alliance to support Harris, John Giles. Of course, Arizona has dealt with a huge influx of migrants, especially this year. But Giles has written in an op-ed in AZ Central that he has switched party lines because the GOP under Trump is one he does not recognize. He says that it is down a path of political extremism. He says that the GOP that he stands for is one where the American dream is a possibility for anyone. And, he talks a lot about, the border deal, that bipartisan border deal this year that almost passed, but was really undermined by former President Trump. Mesa, Arizona mayor said that happened. He called it exploitation, that Donald Trump was using it for political gain, trying to make sure that deal did not go through so that he could keep using immigration as something to campaign on.
And Adriana, you spoke with some immigration activists in Chicago about President Biden and Vice President Harris's policies. What did they have to say? What are they hoping to hear tonight?
They're hoping for information. They want clarity. They said that they are not satisfied with this current administration, that they feel that they have just been getting more of the same, more promises that have not been delivered on. They want to see, increased family reunifications, less deportations. They want to have a border deal where, the immigration system is fixed. They want more legal pathways to citizenship. The party has released its platform where they've outlined some of their goals, but it's really broad and general, and it's not trickling down to a lot of the immigrants in the community. We spoke to a woman, Victoria Castro, who works at an organization here that does grassroots, conversations, knocking on doors, trying to turn out the Latino community. And she says that the messaging is not reaching them. People know Kamala Harris, but they don't feel they understand what she stands for and if she will deliver. They say, as a daughter of immigrants herself, that, they're hopeful, she says, that she will stand with them, but there isn't full trust there. There's, I think, a little bit of paranoia, in fact, that she may not deliver on promises. Let's play a clip from that interview.
People are feeling pretty apathetic, and they're going to feel that way unless you give them a reason to come out and vote.
So even though there's been this surge of enthusiasm around Kamala Harris, that's not being felt in the immigrant community here?
I think for the community that we're trying to do outreach for, there has always been a gap of enthusiasm because neither the parties nor the candidates have ever really spoken to our folks about things that they care about in a way that will resonate with them.
So like when you talk to people, what do they tell you?
So for a lot of them, it's like when it comes to the black migrants, a lot of them, the issue is that they're being overlooked. When we talk about the election and voting, we are talking about like are there going to be opportunities, like job opportunities? Are there going to be immigration reform? Are there, going to be other resources provided to the community?
So as you can hear, and I'm just going to speak low because the national anthem is being sung right now. As you can hear, there is optimism about Harris, but it is cautious. Jerika.
All right, Adriana Diaz, we thank you so much for your reporting, and we'll check in with you later. Thank you.